So if you are going on your first Hinge date soon, that's exciting. That's awesome. I know it can be very overwhelming, nerve-wracking, and if you just find yourself often overthinking, there's a few things that I've done over the years, especially in the beginning, that just really helped kind of simplify the whole process and make it a lot easier for me. And right before I get into that, I think the biggest difference between like my first date and like my 50th was that in the beginning, I would approach it with almost like the intent of winning them over, of just really hoping that they like me instead of hoping that I like them. And it's just kind of a vibe check. There's, it's not about them agreeing for a second date, you know, it's a mutual thing and that can just kind of get lost because you do naturally want to make a good impression. You want to show yourself in the best light, but you can kind of just lose that it's not a game. But anyway, I'm kind of going on a tangent here. So something specific, and this really surprised me. I didn't know about this before. I just found it out like a week ago. But apparently, the number one reason why first dates fail is because of bad breath. And that makes me think, like, oh my God, did I ever have bad breath? Uh, maybe, maybe that's why it didn't go very well for me. No, it's actually my first dates were decent. I pretty much I had a good time on them, but just make sure you brush your teeth. Make sure you use a tongue scraper or whatever. Maybe have some mints. Secondly, like for clothes or style, I know that can be a very overwhelming thing. Again, something you can overthink. Like, oh my god, first date. Okay, I'm gonna have to go get a haircut. Okay, I'll have to like shave properly or whatever. I'll have to buy a bunch of clothes. What should I wear? And then try some clothes on in the mall and you don't like the look of it. And it's like, fuck. But just having like a good pair of jeans and a white shirt, that actually goes a long way. Just some like good, clean, fitted white shirt, jeans, blue, gray, whatever. That goes a long way. Then maybe like a watch, a little bit of jewelry or something, or a nice coat. You don't have to overthink it. Third, I'll get into the things that you actually probably don't know already now. And the first thing I like to do, or the third thing that I like to do, is that I will actually tell them, like as I'm setting up the date, that I actually have something to do after, but that I have time enough for the date, so that I have to go to some work thing or whatever. And this is useful as it helps me end the date easily, which is nice. It helps them less likely to flake, which is a big thing because it is an intimidating thing. It's a scary thing. You're going on a date or they're going on a date and you're just like still a stranger. What if he like tries to make a move and blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to do that. And even like a kiss or whatever. I say, don't do any of that. It's just the focus just is a vibe check, making sure, you both like each other. And then you can worry about the rest of the stuff on the second or third date. And also, it just gives you an out if you got catfished or the date is just like a dud. It's just like an easy out. Fourth, the place you choose is super, super helpful. If you are nervous, they can make the world of difference. Because, I mean, right now, I like, just because I've got some reps and I'm used to going on it, that I just like a coffee date or a dinner date. But if you use an activity date where the focus is on mini golf, bowling, playing pool, whatever it may be, it's just so much better than just like just directly staring down at each other at a table, trying to think of what you should say. Like it's just so much more chill, so much more relaxed. It doesn't have to like cost a lot of money. Mini golf is usually pretty cheap. Somebody I'm working with just brought his first date to an arcade. That's cool. I'd never even really thought about that. But something else, referring back to like wanting to avoid lulls in a conversation, it's not a bad idea to have a few topics prepared in your mind. Like I remember doing this a long, long time ago, and it felt kind of weird to just like, it was almost like I'm memorizing lines, but it's not that. It's like these are just remembering very specific things about them that might be interesting. It can be something that she talked about in her dating profile, or it could be something that you talked about so far, like through your messages or whatever. And that's kind of it. Like most of what matters is just going out there. Like it's a huge win. Like if you haven't been on a date before, holy shit, that is fucking awesome. That is truly awesome. That is a win. It doesn't matter if you like go there and you just stutter for like a good 30 minutes trying to get one word out. But it's just getting on them, going on them, it's a huge win. It's a huge one. And that's you should be proud of yourself, especially like if you haven't been on them before. And probably like a lot of guys don't really go on dates. It's very easy to have never gone on a first date. I bet that number is quite high. Like the percentage of guys that have never gone on a date, I bet it's quite high. Especially if things were just, if you've dated some people, but they were just through work or social circle, whatever, you didn't actually have a typical first date. But let's clear up a few other things. Um, Something a lot of people just think that they have to be all flirty and touchy. And again, like trying to be able to take things to the bedroom or whatever. Just like, no, it's just a vibe check. Don't do anything else on a first date. Don't do anything else. If maybe years from now, when you're just really smooth or whatever, that you can like do that, but you still really wouldn't. You still don't want to, because a lot of women are just on the dating apps for relationships. Like you have to very structure your profile, message them, and talk and be very clear, like you're wanting hookups, and then that's like a completely different dynamic. But that's not what we're talking about. So don't think that you have to make a move and be aggressive and blah blah blah. You don't. But once you kind of get to a point where you're good. I don't know how to, if there's a number that I can tell you, maybe 5 days, maybe 10, whatever it may be. But there's a point where like all the rules essentially go out the window and all this stuff, because you're just kind of comfortable. And at that point, like how I approach first dates now. Yes, I just got this microphone. It's funny. I'm constantly like, what the fuck is this in my face? I don't know if you've seen it in the last few videos, but I do like to play with it. Anyways, how I approach first dates, if I could put a word on it, and this is helpful for me, I don't know if it's applicable, but it's like the emotional tone, essentially. Like I'm here for the next hour. It doesn't matter how it goes. I'm just here to get to know somebody. I hope it goes well, but if it doesn't, that's cool. And I just want some good conversation. That's it. I'm pretty calm, pretty chill, and I really don't take it seriously. Like I really don't. And I think that's probably how a lot of guys will feel once they get used to it. And it is something quite enjoyable. And like, yeah, if you're going on your very first date, it's a huge win. And it's actually, that kind of stuff would be like the biggest high for me. Even if it didn't go well, like I'd always feel pretty good about myself after a date, because a lot of that stuff was quite intimidating when I was young. But yeah, it's a big win. It's a big win. Try to have fun. Try to have fun with it. And I'd love to know how your first dates have gone. If you've gone on some. If you have any ideas for other activity type dates, like the pool and mini golf and all that, bowling, the arcades. I think that's a really cool one that I miss. I didn't even know. I remember there was an arcade around me a long time ago. I wish there were more. Maybe they're making a comeback. I don't know. I'm rambling. Let me know how your first dates went, or if you have one coming up, and I'll talk to you again soon.